Peace everybody, my name is DJ D-Skillz and welcome to my web series or video blog or whatever you want to call it. And as you might guess, it's about DJing, or more specifically, it's about records and record shopping. Now you may be asking yourself, who goes record shopping anymore, right? I mean, aren't all you DJ guys converted over to digital files these days? And that's kind of true. Most of us do use digital files. In fact, I'm using digital files right now. So these records you see here on my turntables actually are what I like to call fake records, or control vinyl is the proper term for them. And they're so called because they're actually used to control digital files that are stored in my laptop. So there's actually no music on this record. What you have on here is a timecode signal, which if you play it, it sounds like this. Right? That's all that's on there. But if I switch the source over to my laptop, you can hear my copy of Impeach the President that I have stored on the computer. Alright, so one phrase for this technology that allows us to DJ in this fashion is vinyl emulation software. You may have heard that, or DVS, digital vinyl system, or digital vinyl software, or something like that. But it's basically a combination of hardware and software that allows us to continue to DJ the way a lot of us who are old like me learned on vinyl, but again, just using a time-coded control vinyl to actually manipulate digital files that are stored in the computer. So if I have all these digital files, why do I still need to keep all these records around the house, right? Well, the fact of the matter is, I've been DJing for a very long time, since 1988 to be exact, and I have an awful lot of records that I've accumulated over that time, and just haven't had time, frankly, to put all of those records into the computer, to digitize or record all of those records into the computer. And there are actually a lot of records that just aren't available digitally, that you can't go and buy on iTunes. So, for example, you got this nice copy of Pete Rock's first solo album, Soul Survivor, that for some reason still isn't on iTunes. And over here I've picked out another couple of joints. Often you'll find remixes of things that only came out on 12-inch that you can't find either on iTunes or other digital platforms like Amazon. So this nice Teddy Riley remix of Jane Child's I Don't Want to Fall in Love is a good example. And as you can see, I got that from my man JB, who started me off DJing back in 1988. What up, JB? You can still see his initials on the label there. Another good gem is Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation 12-inch, which has a house remix on it that you basically can't find anywhere but on this 12-inch. So if you don't have the 12-inch, certain versions of songs, particularly instrumentals, acapellas, you just don't have them. And, you know, us DJs need those things. So that's why we still go record shopping from time to time. So that's what the series is about. It's about going to different cities and finding record stores and looking for those rare pieces of vinyl or CDs, in some instances, that have different versions or certain songs that are just not available for digital download. So it's something that we DJs call digging in the crates, hence the name of the show, The Big Dig. And being that it's called The Big Dig, we've got to start in Boston, right? So let's pack our bags and head to Beantown for the very first episode of The Big Dig.
Boston has always been a city that's near and dear to my heart, mainly because I went to high school just 20 miles north of here at Phillips Academy in Andover, Massachusetts, but also because of its unique hip-hop and R&B roots, with acts like Edo G and the Bulldogs and Guru from Gang Starr, rest in peace, and of course, everybody's favorite boy group, New Edition. In fact, the show was called The Big Dig after the massive infrastructure project that rerouted I-93 and I-90 in downtown Boston. It was officially called the Central Artery and Tunnel Project, but everybody called it the Big Dig. If you're not familiar, just Google Boston Big Dig or check out this page on MassDOT's website. Alright, so my home for the next few days is here at the Boston Marriott Copley Place, which is conveniently located in the heart of the city, near the area known as Back Bay. I've got a nicely appointed room with a king-size bed and a pretty nice view of the Prudential Tower and the Back Bay neighborhood. So now that I'm all checked into my room, it's time to hit the streets. After a little bit of sightseeing downtown, I'm meeting up with a few of my Phillips Academy classmates for dinner at the Union Oyster House, which claims to be the oldest continuously operating restaurant not only in Boston, but in all of the United States. They've been open since 1826, and they've got an extensive seafood menu. Tonight, I'm having the blackened salmon with a side of rice and broccoli, washed down with an exclusive Sam Adams brew that's only available here at the Union Oyster House. Man, it was great catching up with my fellow members of the class of 1992. We're preparing to celebrate our 25th reunion this summer. Can't believe it's been 25 years already. So Boston has a number of really good digging spots, and today I'm checking out 3 of them. First up, I'm hopping on the T and heading across the Charles River to Cambridge and Harvard Square, where I'm checking out Planet Records. All right, I'm here in Cambridge at Planet Records with John, right?
That's right.
The owner or manager or both?
Owner since 1983.
Wow, okay, cool. Well, that was my next question, was how long has the store been here? So was 83 when the store opened, or did you take over from someone?
I opened it up myself. Thought I was a successful young man, going out on my own. But we started in Kenmore Square over in Boston.
Okay. And is this the only location, or do you guys have any others?
No, this is it.
Okay, cool. So what do you guys specialize in here?
Well, that's the thing. It's pretty broad because we buy collections mostly in the New England area, so that our stock changes a lot. So we don't exclude anything. We're partial to maybe jazz and blues, R&B. We sell a lot of rock. As you've seen, we sell records and CDs still. And we're one of the only stores left that really covers CDs thoroughly. So we have a very large classical collection and jazz selection. And we're big on quality. We try really hard to screen for any problem. So most of our stuff is mint.
They definitely have quite a good selection at Planet Records, from 12-inch vinyl to 45s and CDs, as we heard about. They've even got a good selection of DVDs as well, and this handy guide to record stores in the Boston area. Definitely worth a trip. You can find out more on their website at planet-records.com. So my next 2 spots are back in Boston, so it's back on the T for a ride over to the Boston University area, where I'm checking out In Your Ear Records. Now my real diggers will know what time it is as soon as you hit the door, because the spot is located in the basement, so you already know what's up. This place is really what you think of when you talk about digging in the crates. I mean, you walk in and they got records stacked up everywhere. In addition to the records, they've got a pretty extensive CD collection and a good number of movies on DVD. They've even got a selection of 8-track tapes. That's right, I said 8 tracks. All right, I'm here in Beantown with my man, it's Reed, right?
Reed, yes.
The owner of In Your Ear Records here, which was a little bit hard to find because you guys are in the basement.
We're very underground. Yes, we are. You can take a picture of our In Your Ear So Underground.
I did. That was the first thing I got.
Okay.
So how long have you guys been here?
We've been in this location for about 20 plus years.
Wow, okay. So you moved here from a different location?
Yeah, we've been on 3 different locations on Commonwealth Ave. And this is our 3rd and probably our final location, if things continue. And we'll be here till the very end, or maybe somebody else will be here.
One way or another, huh? So, do you have any idea about, I see you guys have an awful lot of stuff here. Do you know roughly how many records you have in here?
Oh, there's probably 50,000 LPs.
Wow.
100,000 45, something like that.
100,000 45.
Maybe.
Man.
There's a lot. Things just pile up, and we devote as much space to records as we possibly can. All the corners, all the areas filled up as much as possible. Some people like it that way. As long as they're not too big and can't get through. But
yeah, I see some of the aisles are a little
some
narrow
people
there.
have to squeeze around a little bit, but we'll be happy to help them. Find whatever they can find or whatever they need.
There's definitely a lot to look through here in Your Ear. You could easily spend a whole day here, so it's a good idea to come with a plan, or at least a list of stuff that you're looking for. They've even got a little selection of audio equipment and a bunch of magazines too. For more information, you can check them out online at iye.com. Alright, so for my third and final spot, I'm heading over to the historic Newberry Street shopping district, where I'm visiting the appropriately named Newberry Comics. But don't let the name fool you, they've got plenty of records. It's mostly new stuff and some newer reissues of older stuff, but a pretty good selection of hip-hop, R&B, pop, and rock. You can also find a few record collecting supplies, and they've got a pretty good selection of CDs as well, and of course, as the name suggests, comics. In addition to the extensive music and comic book collections, they've also got other stuff like toys and costumes and a good amount of posters as well, and even a whole section of the store that's dedicated to apparel. I found the Star Wars section of particular interest because since I have so many records already, it's nice to find stuff that I don't have, like this handy Jedi Path manual that I think is going to come home with me. May the Force be with you. So Newberry Comics has a number of locations all over New England, and you can check them out online at newberrycomics.com. Now before I head home, I've got to head up to Andover and pay visit to my alma mater, Phillips Academy, where I'm heading to the music building, Graves Hall, to talk to my man Carl, the head librarian at the William Biggs Cliff Jr. Record Library.
It's Carl, isn't it? Carl Johnson?
Carl Johnson, yep.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
My pleasure.
So how long have you been working here in the music library?
I came here in 2000 as a part-time evening librarian, and I've over a few years took over the directorship of the library, and that I've been doing for about 10 years now, and I've been seeing the library through some changes, certainly, as you're well aware. Records were the staple, probably back when you were here in school in the 90s, and CDs were in their heyday when I came on board, and now we've moved into the streaming world, and also people are still using vinyl, so it's been an interesting time for sure.
Definitely, and we talked a little bit about your predecessor. What was her name again?
Oh, that was Sally Slade Warner. She was here for 35 years or so, I believe. Started as a house counselor, and she was the record librarian starting in, I think, the early 70s, when this was just a small, basically a closet, a small room in the basement here with some old 78 records and a few LPs. And she built the library over that 30-year period to comprise what we have now is 8,000 CDs, about 1,500 LPs still, cassettes and videos and sheet music. She built that year after year, getting a lot of music, taking requests from everybody, and now we're really a library that rivals some colleges with our collection. So we're very happy with the service she gave to the library and the school over the years.
Did you say you had something that you wanted to show me? Maybe some rarities that you might have in here?
Yeah, we had a few rarities. Let's see, where's the big one here? Oh, here it is. This is a band called the Rising Storm that was here at the Academy in about 1967 or so, 68 I think they graduated. 5 guys who were here who had a sort of a surfer rock band. So this group cut I think 1 or maybe 2 albums, and we have this, and this is actually considered one of the rarest albums in this genre. I forget the exact genre. It's something like, not frat rock, but it's private school rock, basically, something like that. And this album, there were, I forget how many. They only printed a few hundred of these. It's worth several $1,000s, and I think the last one that went on an auction.
Wow.
And we have a few copies in the archives, and this is the one that actually circulated in the library up until maybe 15, 20 years ago. So
I was going to say, you got to keep that under lock and key these days.
Right. So that's the Rising Storm. They're actually doing a documentary on themselves in their time at Andover right now in 2017, and we'll look forward to seeing what they come up with. They come back every so many years for reunions and all that and still play. So that's one of the interesting rarities.
Cool. Now, is that the band that you were asking me about,
Yeah.
the Royal Blue song?
Right, they were asking for the Royal Blue, which is our school fight song that we played at sporting events, pep rallies, that kind of thing. I do not have a recording of that, and I've had many requests of that, but I have only things that are really done that were recorded for major school events or concerts, but not pep rallies, that kind of thing. So I hear you have a 45 recording that I'm very eager to listen to. And maybe pass that on.
So I will record that and email that to you as soon
Yeah.
as I get home.
Yeah.
Man, it's so great to be back on campus, especially on this beautiful spring day. Reminds me of my youth. I really hate to leave this place, but all good things must come to an end, so it's back to Logan Airport, this time through the real Big Dig, and on to my home airport, BWI, which was renamed in 2005 after civil rights leader and Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. Finally, it's on to the crib, where I'm fulfilling my promise to Carl and ripping my copy of the Phillips Academy fight song, The Royal Blue.
All right, so I actually got this copy of the Royal Blue right there at the record library from Miss Warner way back when I was a student in high school. So as you can see, it's a big band jazz arrangement, so probably not the version you would hear at a pep rally, but this is the version we got. So let's check it out.